Creasy optimistic that Gauteng schools will have no textbook drama next year. And Igeson says Bafana performed well in their first match. With the latest news updates, I'm Hasina Gori. Gauteng Education Department MEC Barbara Creasy says she's optimistic that schools in the province will have all the textbooks and teaching materials they need for 2013 by the end of the year. Yesterday, national government said it was confident that sufficient measures were being taken to ensure that there were no problems with the delivery of textbooks at schools next year. Creasy says she has begun to visit schools to ensure that the books they are ordering comply with the new curriculum.
Publishers must be given an opportunity to print according to order. For us, the important thing is to identify schools that haven't ordered. Yesterday, I visited 6 schools. There was one that hadn't ordered. So we've given them a week, and we're going to be going back then at the end of next week to check that that order has been placed.
Public Enterprises Minister Malusi Gigaba has warned that many jobs could be lost in South Africa if unrest in the mining sector is not immediately curtailed. He was addressing reporters in Pretoria. Gigaba says prolonged unrest could undermine investor confidence and result in job losses in the sector. He says the current unrest in the platinum and gold mining industry could have far-reaching implications. Gigaba says government will work with its partners in labour and business to stabilize the sector. Confrontations between police and workers at the Lonmin Platinum Mine in Maracana in the northwest last month led to the deaths of 44 people. Funeral services for the 5 Eastern Cape miners who died in the Maracana tragedy on August 16th are currently underway in Mkandule, Matatiele and Herschel. This weekend marks the end of funeral services for the miners who died as a result of confrontations between police and Lonmin Platinum mine workers. Most of the 44 people that died in the violence at the mine were buried last weekend in the Eastern Cape and Northwest, as well as in Lesotho and Swaziland. The SABC's Unati Binkosi reports.
As one chapter of this tragic story comes to an end, the grieving families have urged government to ensure that it's not the end of the story regarding the deaths of their loved ones. They have called on government to ensure that those who pulled the trigger, killing their loved ones on that fateful day, are brought to book. This as the Commission of Inquiry set up by President Jacob Zuma takes up the matter, and the state has decided to provisionally withdraw murder charges against the surviving mine workers who were arrested on that day, releasing them on free bail.
And finally, Bafana coach Gordon Igeson says his Chargers put up a good performance despite losing 1-0 to 5-time world champions Brazil at a 67,000 capacity stadium in São Paulo last night. The match marked the official dawn of a new era for Bafana, and it was played on Brazil's Independence Day. It's also the first of 8 matches for Bafana in preparation for the 2013 African Cup of Nations to be hosted in South Africa. The team will also play against Mozambique on Tuesday. Igeson had this to say.
Yeah, look, it's unfortunate that we had the injuries. I'm just concerned a little bit about Benny McCarthy because, the injury he's got is totally different to any other injury he's had. It's his knee. So a doctor obviously is looking at him. And of course, to Dino and Glover, I would have liked to have had them on the field in the second half because they would have, as you saw the way we played the second half, there was a lot more, there would have been a lot more support for them. But having said that, I don't think it affected the result. I think it's just bad luck that we had with those 2 players getting injured.
Catch the latest news anytime here on Newsbreak's Option 1.